Hey friends, the Mrs. Wolfie from our half acre homestead. Today we're going to be making blueberry lemon scones. So what we need is we need 4.5 cups of flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 cup of buttermilk, half to 3/4 of a cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of lemon zest, half a pound of butter, and 1 cup of frozen strawberries. We'll get right to it. Alrighty. Now, we're going to take the 4.5 cups of flour and we're going to dump it in the bowl, just like that. Now remember folks, my flour is either whole wheat or whole wheat mixed with unbleached. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our 3 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a little bit more than that. There we go. We're going to sift it in there. Yeah, I know that's not how sifting is done, but that's the way I do it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our butter, and you want it good and chilled, not frozen hard, but good and chilled, and a cheese grater, and we are just going to grate the butter into this flour. But basically with scones, like pastry, you do not want to overwork the dough, and one of the reasons you want your butter chilled is because you don't want your butter worked in. The butter's going to melt and it's going to make your scones puff up nice and big. Let's get our lemon zest in there. Now, lemon zest is not important, but in this recipe, it makes all the difference in the world. It complements, it gives a little zip to the sweet of the blueberries. We're going to add our sugar in here. There we go. Now, we're going to add our frozen blueberries. Now, I do this same recipe with cranberries and orange zest, but you want your berries frozen because you want them to hold their shape while you work your dough. We're just going to toss those in there and make sure they're coated with flour, and then we're going to make a well in the center of our flour mixture. And we're just going to gently, like pastry, mix in the buttermilk. Now, a lot of people will roll this out. You don't want these fine fat berries to be squished. They'll roll it out or pat it into a circle and cut it into wedges. That's very traditional. I actually use a cookie cutter or a donut cutter with the center cut out. So, let's see, we want this all mixed together. We want it to all hold together, and if it doesn't do that quite soon, I'll add a little bit more buttermilk. You got to let the batter tell you how you want it done. So I'm going to add another 1/2 cup of buttermilk. Should absolutely do it, because I was supposed to use 4 cups of flour and I used 4.5. It's been a while since I made scones, so we just want this. You just kind of toss it so that it all sticks together. Then when you can get in there with your hands, don't let the dryness look fool you, because that buttermilk is in there quite well. And then once you got to do this fairly quick too, because your frozen strawberry or blueberries are going to add juice to this. Now let's just kind of dump this gently out. There goes a lump on the floor, which I'm sure one of my dogs is going to go after. You can use dried blueberries. You don't have to use frozen, but I like biting into a scone and having a big burst of juice come in my mouth. I will be right, that just fell apart. We need to mix it just a little bit more. It's moist. You can tell it's moist. You just do that and it clumps together, but we don't want it overworked. Maybe we should just knead this a little bit. All right, we'll be back when I have the cookie sheet. Alrighty? Alrighty, now we've got our pizza pan here. And normally, I usually make huge batches of these and then just freeze them and then just take them out as I need them. But I'm making a small recipe today. And Papa is, I hate it when they fall apart like this. Papa is looking so forward to his blueberry scones because they're his favorite. Mine are the cranberry ones. The trick is to get these done and back in the freezer to chill before the blueberries melt, because you don't want these blue streaks in your scones. There we go. All right, we'll be back when this tray is full. There they are, folks. This is our batch of scones, and as you can see by my hand, they're quite big. Papa's going to put them in the freezer. He'd rather them go straight into the oven. No, but they're going in the freezer. They have to chill for about an hour. We want them to firm up a little bit, and then we'll be back and we'll egg wash and coarse sugar them and bake them up, and ooh, we're going to have scones and tea. All right, we'll be back. All right, we're just going to brush some egg wash on there, and we're going to scatter some coarse sugar. Now the reason this works so well is because these are frozen or partially frozen, so the egg white wash and the sugar stick. So these are going in the oven. I was going to have only a few, but Papa said bake them all. So we'll be back when these go in the oven. These are going in the oven at 350 degrees for 45 minutes. All right? Be back soon. Here we go. We're going to take the scones out of the oven. I'm laughing because, you know, he's quiet on film, but he talks a lot off film. Here's his scones. He made me bake them all. Give me the camera.
Make me a tea.
What?
Make me a tea.
I'll be back when I serve his master up his tea and his scones. There it is. And it's just one of the prettiest things. Now look at how this, ow, ow, that's hot. You just kind of give it a squeeze and look at it, just flakes apart. We're going to put a little bit of butter on there. There we go, just a little bit of butter. I'm too impatient for the, oh, took them out of the oven early, I guess. I'm too impatient. Oh, these are the best. The best. It's the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying, scones, baby. Oh.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Anything close to your recipe?
Just take a bite. It's dripping butter. They're hot.
Very good.
Alrighty, there you go. That's the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying he just stole my scone.